The words are Srimad Bhagavatam, as you are your incarnation, as if a sober person repeatedly receives it will submissive, with submissive oral reception, then he'll be able to understand his message. He will become liberated from the influence of the modes of ignorance and passion, and thus all inauspicious things accumulated in the core of the heart will disappear. How will I make them understand the message of Krishna consciousness? I am very unfortunate, unqualified, and the most fallen. Therefore, I am seeking your benediction so that I can convince them, for I am powerless to do so on my own. Somehow or the other, O Lord, you have brought me here to speak about you. Now, my Lord, it is up to you to make me a success or failure as you like. O spiritual master of all the worlds, I can simply repeat your message. So, if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. Only by your causeless mercy will my words become pure. I am sure that when this transcendental message penetrates their hearts, they will certainly feel engladdened and thus become liberated from the unhappy conditions of life. Oh Lord, I am just like a puppet in your hands. If you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance. Make me dance. Oh Lord, make me dance as you like. I have no devotion, nor do I have any knowledge, but I have strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. I have been designated as the Bhakti Vedanta, and now, if you like, you can fulfill the real purport of the Bhakti Vedanta. Signed, the most unfortunate, insignificant beggar, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, on the board the ship Jaladuta, Commonwealth Pier, Boston, Massachusetts, USA, dated 18 September 1965. I was really touched by this prayer I heard in one of the recent some lecture, and then I felt we should sing this song. Prabhupada, out of utter humility, he was calling himself fallen, and with complete surrender, he was saying, Krishna, if you want to make me dance, please just make me dance as you decide. And it is who you are giving this message, not me. I am the most fallen. Such a humble message and a humble prayer by Srila Prabhupada, who is our founder Acharya. And I would like to get at least 0.01% of this humility. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, you are on mute, Prabhu.
Thank you. It's very touching. It's so wonderful. Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. So let's get started. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shruta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadavaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Kadayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaurapishe Namah. O most magnificent incarnation, you are Krishna himself, appearing as Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You are distributing you are distributing pure love of Krishna all over the world. and we offer respectful obeisances unto you. Krishna Varnam Visha Krishnam Sangopangostra Parshadam Yagnai Sankirtana Prayer Yajanti Sumedasa. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. Nana Sastra Vicharnaik Nipunau Shad Dharma Samstapakau Lokanam Hitakarinau Tribhuvane Manyau Sharanyakarau Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajana Anandena Mattaliko Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, namely Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatana Goswami, Shri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Shri Raghunath Das Goswami, Shri Jiva Goswami, and Shri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizing and studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the 3 worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of because they are engaged and they are taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Shri Radha and Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Narom Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna. Govinda Madi Purusham Hitanam Bhaja. Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All great Shri Prabhupada. Welcome back. So, we just started Rasa Tattva, the science of transcendental rasas. Now, we did lesson 34 yesterday. So today we will do lesson 35. So before we start 35, let's hear the recap of lesson 34. Thank you very much. Haribo.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So I'll be giving recap of yesterday's class, lesson 34. So chapter 26 and 27, title Rasa Tattva. It was a wonderful class given by Charu Prabhuji. So it talks about primarily Sthai Bhav, that is a Bhava. One is reached to the Bhava stage and it's a stable Sthai, mixed with 4 components. Basically, Buddhist says primary 5 rasas and secondary 7 rasas. And only with these rasas, 5 plus 5 and 7, primary 5 and secondary 7, one can serve the Lord. And so this is really very, very important. So we'll go through more details on that. Those. So first thing, this subject, yesterday's class was focused on 34 on 5 different themes, 5 different subjects. So one was again, as usual, change of scenario here. Brajanath and Vijay Kumar, they moved to Jagannath Puri. This is the theme 1. And meet a new Shiksha Guru called Sri Gopal Guru Goswami. And he is a wonderful devotee. And know about Rasa Tattva from Swarup Damodar Goswami's teaching. So not ordinary person. That is the theme 1. Theme 2 talks about 4 Sthayi bhav of a devotee mixed with one of these four in a sequential vibhav, anubhav, sattvic bhav, and sanchari bhav. Produces all those 5 primary and 7 secondary rasas. So this is a very important theme. 3 basically again talks about step by step anubhav, sattvic bhav, vibhichari bhav in the more details of that. It also talks about 3 talks about Krishna appears as 4 types of heroes. Dhira Udita, Dhira Lalita, Dhira Santa, Dhir Udhata. Then 4 talks about Vibhav, details about Krishna, 2 types of devotees. One is the sadhakas and another is the siddhas. And 5th talks about basically Vibhav Alam Udipana, basically Udipana. That's how discussion. It's a totally technical, a lot of details are there. So I will start with theme 2 primarily, because that is a basically discussion subject matter here. So Sthayi bhav mixed with the of a devotee mixed with the one of these 4 components. First is the vibhav tattva, and they go in a sequence. So vibhava. This vibhav, there are 2 parts to that one. One alambana, another is uddipana. Alambana has got 2 parts again. One is the Vishya and Ashraya. That means in this case, Vishya is the Lord Krishna in a general sense, and Ashraya is the devotee who takes that shelter of that. Prabhuji also mentioned, Sharad Prabhuji, this role could change also when Krishna decides to take a shelter of the devotee. This role can change it. When this mature, further goes to the anubhava, subsequent stage. That is again shows external features into that. Further, mixed with again, always we have to have anubhav, sthayi bhav mixed with vibhav, and then anubhav goes to the sattvic vibhav. That gives external symptoms, and further it goes into the sanchari bhav. That those bhavs comes and goes. So bhav bhakti or Krishna rati appears in the heart because of transcendental pious deeds in this or previous lives. So this is the primary focus of there. And the question for this one was, what pious deed must have one performed in the past that he may attain rasa? That was one question. Please describe sthayi bhav, steady ecstasy, and ingredient, that is samagri, how these things combine to become rasa. And as Prabhuji mentioned, only with the rasa, one of these rasas, one can serve the Lord. So this is there. The next question was that the 4 constituent ingredients of rasa, given in more details into that. I just mentioned that. Let's go to the next question. That's question 180. I have heard from my Guru the description of Krishna's 64 qualities. Are there more? Please describe and explain those qualities. So here the theme 3, Krishna appears 4 types of as heroes. One is Dhira Udita. That is the basically Krishna is very grave, gentle, forgiving, merciful. Some different roles. He is a hero. Comes in one of them. Then Dhira Lalita. He is naturally very funny, full of youthfulness, expert in joking, free from all anxieties, and so on. Many qualities are mentioned here. Dhira Prasanta. He is a very peaceful, forbearing, considerate, and many other qualities are mentioned. Dhira Udatta. Krishna is very envious. Again, contradictory qualities in him. So, opposing views, how they reconcile, and that brings the next question here. The Babaji's next question to the Babaji, that how by his inconceivable potency, Krishna possesses many mutually contradictory qualities. And some of the evidence are mentioned here. A couple of I'll just read here. He is not a great and he is not a small. So he is the greatest and he is the smallest. Again, contrary, greatest cannot be a small or small cannot be greatest. Achinda Bhedavam coming from Kurma Puran. And like that, there are many justifications given. One of them, all the forms of Supreme Personality God are eternal, everlasting. Nothing can be given to improve them. That means whatever pastime Lord does and the form comes, nothing can be added or nothing can be subtracted. They are just perfect. And for which them Krishna wants to give a message. So these are not contradictory. However, we may, seems like us contradictory there. So there are 8 qualities are mentioned. Here Krishna possesses the 8 qualities of great personalities: decorated, enjoying, pleasing, dependable, steady, predominating, meticulous dresser, magnanimous personalities. And there are 18 faults are there. I'm not going, just some of them like illusion, fatigue, errors. These are not qualities to be seen in Krishna, but appears like that for that particular pastime. Next question was question Babaji's response to Vajra's question 186 was that please describe the devotees who are qualified for the rasas and who have attained vibhava. So devotee who has in his heart has Krishna Rati, and as we Prabhuji mentioned, this can come only when in the bhava mood, and next is a prema. He's just close to, he's on bhava or matured bhava. That is what we are talking about here. That is a 186 question. 87. What are the different kinds of devotees qualified to participate in the rasa? Sadhakas and the siddhas. These are 2 devotees. Who are the sadhakas? Our practitioner. Prakata Bhakta, he is a materialist. The next question is, isn't a Prakata Bhakta or a materialist devotee also qualified for the rasa? If one has not obtained the mercy of the pure devotee and become a pure devotee, then he is not there. So again, very nice question. Next question is, who are the siddha, perfected devotees? There are 2 kinds of siddhas. One is Nitya Siddha, and there was good discussion about the next one, Samprapta Siddhas. There are 2 types of Samprapta Siddhas. One is Sadhan Siddhas, like we are going through bhakti process, and another is a Kripa Siddha. And Latha Mataji asked very nice question about, is there different levels once we reaches to Siddha, Sadhan Siddha or Kripa Siddha or Nitya Siddha? And Prabhuji gave a very wonderful example of that. Nitya Siddha, they are eternal associates of the Lord. We can see in the next given. When Lord appears, he doesn't come, he comes with his interest. So all those who coming, they perform pastime and they go back, they have no material things. And they don't have to go through the process. They have that bhakti in them. Then another part is Kripa Siddha. This is a very rare. Lord gives that Kripa Siddha to some selected devotee, and generally it's not expected. But Sadhan Siddha, that is what we are, Sadhan Siddhas onto that. So who are Nitya Siddha devotees? Again, a person who has achieved eternal blissful life exactly on the level of Krishna these are Nitya Siddha devotees. Again, the examples are given, all those are coming with the Lord. Then let's go through a couple of more here. Next question is 193. Please explain the Udipna. That is the theme, one of the theme 4. So stimulus, Udipna is a stimulus. So some of the things by seeing them stimulates stimulates his vibhava and other sanchari bhava and the other bhavas. So those are Udipna. For example, his body, his body like Kaika, or his speech Vachika, or his again his body Kaika. One is a mind. Another is speed, third is the body. Krishna's qualities are 3 types related to Udipna. Details are given. Another question was 193. Please explain the Uddipana in more details. So three things are given. Three divisions of Krishna's age. Up to 5 is called Kaumarya. Above is called 5 to 10 called Pauganda. Above 10 to 16 called Kishora. Three Venus are there, Vamsi, Venu, Murli. Prabhuji explained very nicely. So by seeing them, again, Uddipana, switch is turned on, one feels for the Lord. That is the purpose of this thing. Then how is the rasa or Sthai Bhav in the heart transmitted externally in the body? Very nice example. Those are external, that from heart, the symptoms are expressed on the body like dancing, rolling on the ground, singing very loudly. There are many many bhavas are there. So again, theme 5 talks about genesis of anubhavas from vibhava. So again, basic component is the Sthai Bhav mixed with one of those four bhavas like vibhava or vibhava, anubhav, Sthai Bhav, anubhav or sanchari bhav or one of the other bhav is there. It mixes up and produces 5 rasas, which are primary rasas and 7 secondary rasas. Again, the question goes next, 195. What are the sattvic bhavas? Sattvic born from sattva, which refers to the pure chit, pure consciousness of a devotee. Again, details are moist or smeared, snigdha, primary mukhya, primary bhavas, secondary bhavas. There are more details. I think we just Prabhuji scrolled through yesterday. I think we are planning to go more details into that in today's class. Prabhuji, I'll stop here considering because there are a few more details, but we just scrolled through that, didn't go into the details of that, and understand today we'll be covering that. Prabhuji, I'll stop. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Such a complex topic, complex philosophy, technical terms. You managed to explain it so very nicely. I'm very, very happy for that. Thank you very much, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome back. So let me first share my screen. So what I decided to proceed on lesson 35, and time permits, then we will see the last couple of slides that were remaining in lesson 34, but they are not that crucial, That's why I'm going to pass by. So let me share my screen. So this is the program in this particular subsection that I gave you yesterday, lesson 34, 35, 36, 37. So 34 we did, 35 we begin. So this is about basically in this lessons, in this chapter 26 to 30, what the author is giving us some idea about the basic ingredients, vibhava, anubhava, sattvic bhava, and sanchari bhavas. Sanchari bhava is also called vyabhichari bhavas. So that is what we have heard so far. So this Rajinath Prabhu is now asking that you had talked about all these bhavas, but what about this Sthai bhava, which is the most important in the heart, and that's the one which is involved in converting that into the 5 primary rasas and 7 secondary rasas. So please explain that. So that is what we are going to be focusing today in lesson 35, but mostly about this Sthai bhava, what it is, what are its divisions, and how it interacts with vibhava. And we already learned vibhava, there are 2 elements of that. One is alambana, the other one is uddipana. Alambana, that the object of worship and there is Shri Krishna. Towards him, a devotee develops, cultivates a rati, prema, So how it happens, that is what we are going to learn primarily in this lesson. Okay? Please. Everybody is able to see my screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, but
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, I'm going to expand. Let's see. Yeah, now it's better. So there are 5 themes in this lesson. So as I just already told you, that this more focus is on this sthai bhava, which is the king or the emperor of all the other bhavas. Okay? And it's totally independent. That is first theme that will cover, that covers the questions number 213 to 219. And the second theme, 220 to 223, now in the context of the sthai bhava, we'll talk about these 5 primary rasas that is going to develop from that. Okay. The third theme, now the secondary rasas. Secondary rasas are there 7. The fourth theme, what is the proper definition of bhava? We have discussed so much about it, but we must have a clear understanding the proper definition of the bhava, and what are the qualification, adhikara, required of the devotee who wants to learn. Okay, so we are all included in that. And the fifth and the final theme of this lesson is about, now Vijay Kumar is asking, because he was teaching Srimad Bhagavatam, he was conducting classes all over, and he was charging. He was actually making a living out of teaching Srimad Bhagavatam. So he asked Sri Gopal Guru Goswami, his Shiksha Guru now, whether it was proper. And we will hear that it's not proper. One should never ever make a living out of teaching Srimad Bhagavatam. And we'll see why the reason, what is the reason. Very important reason is that. And we should all keep that in mind actually. So as you'll see, we conduct these classes, and I've been doing it for the last 26 years. We don't charge anything whatsoever from our students. So the first thing, this sthai bhava is the king of all other bhavas, and it has its 2 divisions. Why it is so? So the question here, I see that vibhava, because all this time discussion was about the other bhavas, vibhava, anubhava, sattvic bhava, vyabhichara bhava, and so on like that. But Shiksha Guru did not say much about this sthai bhava, and that turns out to be the most important one. So he was curious about it, So what is exactly sthai bhava, and why is it primary sthai bhava? What is primary sthai bhava? So the answer is in 4 parts. When Krishna or Suddharati, attraction to Krishna, takes shelter of the devotee's heart. So the first and foremost importance that we should remember, that the devotee has a great desire to develop and make progress towards the ultimate goal of human form of life to develop Krishna Prema, right? Krishna Rati. And that is the reason this Thai Bhava is there. So depending upon his particular inclination, whether he wants to be a servant of Krishna, or he wants to be a friend, or he wants to be a parent of Krishna. So he's in more love with baby Krishna, or finally, whether Krishna can be my beloved, So these are the particular desires in terms of Krishna Rati, Krishna Prema, in what aspect of it. Depending upon that, he would have that particular power in his heart is going to be stabilized. And that will be converted, so that bhava, ecstatic symptoms, that is going to be converted in actual rasa. This 5 primary rasas, we will focus right on the primary rasas, but then of course the secondary rasas also there, So how this sthai bhava is converted into the rasas, primary rasas, and this sthai bhava is going to be different from person to person, okay? It's highly personalized. So that is the subject matter of the entire this lesson for today, that we are going to be focusing on that. Second point, it is independent of all other bhavas. So sthai bhava does not depend on any other bhavas, okay? In fact, the other bhavas interact with sthai bhava and further augment, further facilitate developing his Krishna Rati. Okay. The third point, sthai bhava is the origin, beginning, and helper of all the rasas. The fourth point, Shuddha Sattva Rati, that is same as primary sthai bhava. So, because we all covered, we all understood how this Shuddha Sattva Rati, particularly when a devotee reaches to a Bhava Bhakti platform, Shuddha Visheshatma, that we already heard, right? Sattva Guna, Shuddha Sattva, pure mode of goodness, that is the predominant Swarupa Lakshana of Bhava Bhakti. So that itself, so that is very familiar to all of us. So that is what actually the Sthai Bhava is all about. Okay. So there are 2 divisions of Sthai Bhava. One is primary. In Sanskrit, it is called Mukhya Rati. Mukhya means a fundamental, primary. Secondary is Gauna Rati. Now it's getting a little bit technical about it. So this is a complex slide, and it's in 3 segments. I want you to focus on that, okay? See, now I'm making these black and white slides. Before it was useful because colors, it's very easy to show specific segments of a slide, right? Yet, so everything is black and white, so it's a little bit difficult, but let me try, okay? So here, this is about the first theme, the 3 kinds of primary Mukhya Rati. But first we heard there are only 2 divisions, right? So where did the third kind came? So we'll see why it is so. So this is the context of Bhava Bhakti, as I just alluded to you just a couple of minutes ago. That Bhava Bhakti, this particular Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma, that is quite familiar to all of us. That's a Swarupa Lakshana, primary characteristic of devotee attaining Bhava Bhakti, pure mode of goodness, and that is Vishesha, that is the unique aspect of Bhava Bhakti. Okay, so that is what really plays a role in developing a particular kind of sthai bhava, stabilized bhava in the heart of such a devotee. So this is the soul's very unique swarupa, very unique characteristic of the soul. within the state of pure goodness. There is not a tinge of material mode of goodness even. So now let's focus on the left side of the slide, okay? So this was the two kinds. There is a Swartha Mukhya Swa Artha, for its own purpose. Swa means for own self. Artha means purpose. Mukhya Rati, Swa Artha means its own purpose. In what sense? That nourishes itself by the compatible bhavas. Sometimes it's not always, primarily, always, mostly it is true that a devotee has a particular inclination for a particular kind of relationship with Krishna, right? But sometimes one has two or more kind of relationship he has, and he's not able to distinguish between two. And there might be some kind of incompatibility factor also. Certain rasas are compatible, other rasas are not compatible, like for instance, Dasya rasa, parental rasa, and so on like that. They are incompatible with one another. So how does this Mukhya Rati, the Sthai Bhava, the primary characteristic, handles that? So this one, the Swartha, that's where it is involved. So when no obstacles are there to stop the bhava, it's called aviruddha, then Swartha Rati increases. So there is no incompatibility factor, then the primary interest develops very easily without any kind of issues. Okay. However, when there is a competing bhava is there, then what happens? When obstacles do stop the bhava, then Swartha Rati gets diminished, viruddha. Then there is a little bit issue, okay? But that's where comes this second part of this Mukhya Rati, Parartha Mukhya Rati, for the sake of the beloved, regardless of the obstacles. Listen carefully. Regardless of the obstacle, regardless of the incompatibility factors are there, that is now harmoniously handled by this Parartha part of Mukhya Rati. It accommodates both the compatible as well as incompatible bhavas. It resolves, make resolution of that. Besides, there is another kind of Mukhya Rati. In addition to these two major portion of the Mukhya Rati, is the third one. This is given in the center portion of the slide. Shuddha Sattva Rati, pure love. And remember, that is the very characteristic, unique characteristic of Sthai Bhava, because that's in a Bhava Bhakti platform now. Again, there are three kinds of that. One is Samanya, ordinary devotees, how they look up, how they consider Krishna and his devotees, those are like that. That's ordinary. Okay, the love people generally feel for Krishna. But now we are talking about a devotee very, very highly advanced, who is now at the Bhava Bhakti platform. So then there's this little typo here. It's not Svecha, it's Swacha. Svecha means one's own desire. Says the meaning changes if one little letter changes, Swacha, that's what is needed here. I will correct that. Swacha means pure, without any kind of contamination. Clear, when the water is clear, when it's not muddy, then it's very clear. When little bit muddy is there, then it's not very clear, So Swacha means very clear, very pure. So that is the Mukhya Rati manifested in different ways in different kinds of people. Okay, so there is an individuality is there. So you might have a different kind of relationship, inclinations toward Krishna than what I might have, And the third person will be have altogether different. So we are all individual in that respect. Even let's say one particular power, one particular rasa like friendly, two different individuals may have a completely different aspect of a Sakya Bhava, okay, different aspect of it. So that is what is indicated here. Now the third kind, Shanta, that is very peaceful. Meditation with peaceful mind on the unchanging Supreme. Now this is leading us to the Shanta Bhava, neutrality. You know? Okay, so we had discussed now the left portion of the slide, central portion of the slide, and now we'll move it to the rightmost portion. Here, Sthai Bhava assumes different features according to the different kinds of people who contain it. The analogy of sunlight, when it passes through a prism, then it separates the 7 colors, right? This Indradhanusha rainbow, that is clear. You can see the sunlight in a particular situation. When there is a little bit evening, is the rain is there on one side, and the sunlight is there, then you see a rainbow, right? Sunlight, which is white light, actually it's composed of the 7 colors actually. So here also, that bhava, particular bhava, is like that actually, you know. So this 5 primary rasas are actually split from to the main Mukhya Rati. Mukhya Rati is going to be specialized in these 5 kinds of primary rasas and 7 kinds of secondary rasas. So divided into 5 primary rasas: Shantarasa, which is in neutrality. Madhura Rasa is repeated here actually. Again, there are a couple of typos. So Shantarasa, Dasya Rasa, Sakya Rasa, Vatsalya Rasa, and Madhura Rasa. That you are all familiar. So you can easily say that repetition is there, you know. Okay, now in this slide, what we are going to hear, what we are going to see, the depiction of these 5 primary rasas, okay, in more general aspect of it. Later on, we will go one by one, each of these primary rasas in much greater detail in terms of how, so it's a genesis, okay, how from the Mukhya Rati is going to develop into each of these 5 rasas. We will see specialized way. What are the specialized alambana is there? Vibhava alambana, specialized vibhava uddipana is there, and then what particular anubhavas developed, external symptoms in the body, then sattvic bhavas, that so we'll see one by one, all right? But here, in a general aspect of it, all 5 rasas that is being discussed right here in this slide. So here the question here, previously held notions that Shanta Rasa, Shanta Rati, is not a genuine kind of love, and it does not exist in Vraja. So that was the general understanding, people have that. But here, Shiksha Guru, Sri Gopala Guru Goswami, makes it very clear that it's no more true. Indeed, Shantarasa do exist even in Vraja, in Vrindavan. We will see when we actually talk about that, how Shantarasa develops from Mukhya Rati. In great details, each of these rasas, we'll see that, okay? But so that's the question that's settled now here. So that was the misconception, is no more true. Although still it is a minority, nonetheless, it still does exist in Vraja Shantarasa. Okay, here, what are the qualities of Dasya Rasa, Sakya Rasa, Vatsalya Rasa, and finally Madhura Rasa? Okay? And I've shown you, given you some pictures of each of as an example of that. So first we'll talk about Dasya Rasa, okay? And that is, see, right, this picture which you see, that how these gopas are serving Krishna is resting now, and one of the gopa is massaging his feet because he thinks Krishna may be tired now in herding the cows. Okay, the other person in the heat of the day, so he's feigning Krishna to make him feel a little bit relaxed, so Krishna can rest. So this is what the Dasya Bhav. So in Dasya Bhav, Dasya Rasa, Krishna, what is the general consciousness understanding, the resolution of devotees, that Krishna is my master and I am his servant, and nothing else pleases or attracted the Dasya devotee. So we all know, of course, there's a hierarchy of different rasas, right? Beginning with Santarasa, Dasya Rasa, because there's a degree of intimacy is gradually increasing from Dasya Rasa. If you go to Sakya Rasa, because master and servant, there's a certain distances there, right? But when you become a friend, you become more intimate with Krishna, right? But even more intimacy than the Sakya Rasa is the Vatsalya Rasa, the baby Krishna, how the parents lovingly takes care of, and they take great pride in that, and how the childlike activities of baby Krishna pleases the parents, that we all know about it. We all have experienced that. So there is still more intimate with that. But the most intimacy is there in, of course, as a lover of Krishna. So when the two lovers are there, they are obviously much more intimate than any other kind of relationship. So one would think that why, if Madhurya Rasa is the topmost rasa, the topmost, most intimate relationship with Krishna, why would one want to settle with a lower kind of rasa, a lower kind of intimacy? But there is a particular power, that's what matters actually. One has a particular kind of a relationship with Krishna, so you don't want anything else. If I want to serve Krishna as his servant, then no matter what, I would rather remain as a servant, Same with the other rasas like that. So that is the kind of thing that we have here that we must remember. Okay, moving on to Sakya Rasa. The devotee is convinced that Krishna is equal. He's not superior, not inferior. And I am not inferior or superior. I am very equal to Krishna. So in a friendly term, it's an informality enters in the relationship. Okay, intimacy. So among themselves, they joke, laugh, they eat on the same, sit on the same table, they exchange jokes and so on like that. Like between Arjuna and Krishna, that kind of relationship was there. They used to lie down on the bed together and all kind of things like that. So they used to joke around like that. Other like activities. Now, of course, Arjuna later on takes a different kind of situation on the battlefield of Mahabharata war, that we all know that. Then he takes Krishna as his spiritual master, as his guru. The relationship will completely change after that, But until then, they're great friends. Okay, then Vatsalya Rasa. The elders embrace and bless Krishna, as you see in this picture. See all the elderly gopis, they play around with baby Krishna, and place Krishna performs auspicious rituals for his welfare and affectionately touch his chin and so on like that, smell his hair and so on like that, And finally, Madhurya Rasa that you see right here, in the left bottom, okay. And you see here that Sakya Rasa also, His friends used to have lunch together. They used to exchange each other's food and so on like that. So Madhurya Rasa. Remember and gaze, they gaze each other in a sideways. The gopis are very, very shy also. At the same time, they want to look at Krishna when others are present. So they're feeling shy. So the sideways, they steal the glance of Krishna. And Krishna used to do the same thing when elders are around. They still used to exchange each other's sidelong glances. Then moving the eyebrows, silent way of talking each other, speaking to each other, speaking sweet and joking words, and their love, relish, and bliss increase more and more like that. So in the general aspect of all five, primarily these four rasas being discussed here. So I added those pictures to bring those clear to you. Okay, now the 7 secondary rasas. Here also only in a general aspect of it, okay? We will go in more detail. So although these 7 rasas are different from pure lava, Shuddharati, because they are in contact with Parartha Mukhyarati. What is Parartha Mukhyarati? That resolves the incompatible bhavas in the heart. Okay. So because there are incompatibility between each of these 7 secondary rasas, and they brings the harmony, the Parartha part of the Mukhyarati. These are included among the rasas, and the word rati is used to describe them for most devotees. These are generally manifested only temporarily. You cannot laugh all the time, right? You cannot become amazed all the time. It is temporarily. So first one is hasya rasa, laughter, joking, comic, vismay, some astonishment. It is the transformation of the heart upon witnessing something very uncommon. Wow, like this, we say like that. Where anubhavas are manifest. Anubhavas are external bodily symptoms, such as looking with eyes wide open. Wow, like that. Horripilation. Horripilation means all these different kinds of bhavas, these particular symptoms that you develop externally, anubhavas. Then utsaha. Utsaha means great enthusiasm. No, you don't want to waste a single minute. With great enthusiasm, you want to tackle a particular mission of the Lord. It's a steadfast attachment of the mind to performing as soon as possible a great task whose fruit is praised by the sadhus with a sense of utmost urgency. For me, like this, preparing PowerPoints, preparing for these classes, there is the utmost urgency for me because I'm at the tail end of my life now. I'm almost 80, Within just a couple of months, I'll turn 80, So that's the sense of urgency is there for me. And that's the reason why I work pretty much round the clock. Then shoka or karuna, compassion. Sometimes you become angry also for some reason. It is the burning of the heart that arises due to the incomparable bhava. In anger, one experiences transformation, such as harshness. You say something that you really don't mean it, but in angry mood, you might say something, I'm going to kill you. Of course, you are not going to kill, but just in the angry mood that happens. Frowning is a subtle way of showing anger. Eyebrows turning like that. Redness of the eyes. These are the symptoms of one who is in anger. Then bhayanaka, fear, something horrible things that you witness and you become very, very fearsome. It is the excessive restlessness of the heart upon witnessing a terrible sin. These symptoms of hiding oneself, you want to run away, dryness of the mouth, and the endeavor to run away for a characteristic of, these are particular characteristics of fear. Then something ghastliness, vibhatsa or jugupsa, that's a Sanskrit term, something horrible, ghastliness. It is the contraction or shying away that occurs on seeing hearing or remembering horrible things. Its symptoms include spitting, distorting one's face, and vocally expressing disgust. Right? So these are the characteristics we just discussed about the primary rasas and the second rasa. We are going to get into much greater depth and much more greater details. So this is another slide. Here, the difference between Krishna Rati and material love. Material love is called Vishaya Rati. Vishaya means sense gratification. The Krishna Rati is pure prema. So what is the characteristics of material love? This is the left portion of the slide, Vishaya Rati. This slide, I corrected and sent you the revised one, second revision. So pardon me for that. When manifested from the three modes of material nature, then that is Vishaya Rati. For these bhavas we are talking about at the bhava bhakti level, the central characteristic of that bhava bhakti is what? Pure mode of goodness, right? Shuddha Sattva Guna. So that is not there in this. Of course, on the material platform, there are bhavas are there, emotions are there, but that is completely different from the bhavas that we have been talking about, okay? Where the goal is Krishna Rati, pleasing Krishna. But in material love, you're trying to please your own self. You're trying to satisfy your own senses. That's one. So kind of selfish. The three modes of material nature are working. It's pleasant in the beginning when you enjoy. If something goes wrong, your beloved, your lover goes away, get annoyed with you, then there's a misery takes place, right? Unpleasant when the beloved is absent. So the question here, how many total spiritual bhavas are there? So Shiksha Guru gives the answer. There are 8 kinds of sthai bhava, but he does not enumerate what are those 8 bhavas, 8 sthai bhavas. And of course, we know 33 sanchari bhavas, 8 kind of sattvic bhavas, the total of 49 bhavas. Okay, in contrast to this material platform, the bhava, emotions, what are the characteristics of the spiritual love, Krishna Rati? Here, when Krishna is present out of devotee's love for him, there is the taste of rasa of enjoyable in union. That's called sambhoga. You enjoy the association of Krishna as long as you read, hear these pastimes. That's a relish, that's a nectar, obviously, for everyone, especially for the devotees. However, when Krishna is absent, then what happens? Then you feel also miserable. So what's the difference between material and spiritual? But there's a difference, and here's the difference. Even Krishna is not there, it gives a certain kind of bliss also from within. That's a vipralamba seva. When Krishna is absent, you become more intense longing for him. There on the material platform, if your beloved goes away and get annoyed, relationship sometimes breaks right at that point. That love, so-called love, completely gone, disappears. The boy is going to look for someone else, girl is going to look for something else, and bye-bye, But love, which is on the transcendental platform, Krishna and his devotees, they never ever dissolve. That's the fundamental characteristics of love, spiritual love. So when Krishna is absent, the lover experiences Radharani. Krishna purposefully tried to annoy her. He would go spend a night with her rival, Chandravali. And of course, that will give great pain to Radharani. But Radharani never ever gave up on Krishna. So many ways Krishna tried to annoy her. But Radha love was so intense all the time. So especially in separation, And that's the reason why Krishna creates that kind of situation to create much greater longing for him. That's the reason he does that. So in Vipralamba, in separation, there's a special kind of transcendental bliss is there. Okay, the Krishna and his devotees are two alambanas. And I told you, alambana means something that triggers something about Krishna. Even you may not see him directly, but something about him, his friends, his flute, his conch shell on the stick that he's resting in the field, in the forest when he's herding the cows, so on like that. Everything about Krishna. So that is like an alambana that stimulates a devotee's love for him. Okay, and the udipana something ignites. So here, when the rasas are awakened, the ecstatic symptoms are no longer called cause, effect, or helper. Then they become vibhava. So now you are getting some kind of understanding what is vibhava is really. There is the vibhava, means the alambana portion of vibhava, and the uddipana portion of vibhava. One is the stimuli, the other one is actually they ignites that particular bhava in that. So when dancing and other activities increase the sweetness of vibhava, then it is become anubhava. Then it translates into the bodily, experiencing bodily symptoms, okay, externally. Spiritual activities bring spiritual results. So these actions then become sattvic bhava. When these vibhavas bring renunciation and other like symptoms, then become sanchari bhavas. Okay, it's like waves, comes and goes, comes and goes. Sanchara means going, appearing, disappearing, like that, like the waves in the ocean. So that is what happens. So one who attains sweet love for Krishna's form and other features attain this vibhava. So when the Rati, the Krishna Rati, intense longing for Krishna develops in the heart, and the heart's bhava, this sthai bhava becomes stabilized on that, then this vibhava gets activated and tries to interact, So vibhava, there's a feedback. Sthai bhava, as we just learned, is completely independent. It does not depend on anything. But here what happens, sthai bhava generates vibhava, and vibhava in turn further ecstatically intensifies that mukhya rati, this sthai bhava further. So back and forth is the cooperative phenomena. So one who attains sweet love for Krishna's form, the other features attain vibhava. In this vibhava, anubhava, sattvic bhava, and vivichara bhava, all increases the rati, much more intensifies that particular sthai bhava in the heart, and becoming more and more specialized in that particular rasa that is going to develop. Okay, now this is the slide about the proper definition of bhava and what are the qualifications that we need to have in order to understand, to study the science of these rasas. So one is called chintya bhava. Chintya and achintya. We know all achintya, inconceivable. Chintya means that it can be easily figured it out. Conceivable. If you think about it, then you say it is possible. Here that we'll talk first. That could be understood by material mind and logic. That emotion that arise in the heart of a conditioned soul in the material world are all material in nature. That's the first thing we must remember. Okay? 3 modes of material nature. So the material logic is there to a limited way. It is applicable, but not on a spiritual topics. So the conditioned soul's material ideas and its emotion, even about the Supreme Lord, that can be understood and figured out by logic. But from a human point of view, from our emotion point of view, we really have no idea exactly the Supreme Lord, because he is completely spiritual. So there's a finite limit to which our material mind can understand Krishna, a very limited way. About the Supreme Lord are all fathomable by his material mind and logic. But look at the right. What is inconceivable? What is inconceivable is because beyond the understanding of material mind and logic, because material science that we study is all about material elements. Science cannot deal with that which is not material elements. Okay, and here Bhakti, Krishna, they are all on a spiritual platform. So you have to go beyond. If you try to reason using material logic, then Krishna cannot be understood. This is because Krishna is all spiritual and far beyond the touch of matter. Just because he's inconceivable, however, it does not mean that there can be no bhavas. The spiritual bhavas are there, okay? Emotions are there, but in relation to him, they are there, but just not conceivable by the material mind and logic. So the devotee is dancing, laughing like a madman. The onlooker who is not understanding this spiritual bhava bhakti, then they will think that this guy is a mad guy, madcap, They'll never understand. Only through bhakti you can understand. So one's heart remains wrapped, and only way that you can understand is when with a great meditation. Wrapped means focused attention on the appropriately sthai bhava and its ingredients, the components, the eternal and perfect spiritual rasa, then will become manifest to the human mind. So immediately the question arises, what is rapt meditation? Okay. So what does that being rapt meditation actually mean? And who is not qualified to understand this? So here, before I go to the slide, the time we are running out, easy to explain here. See, on a slate, on a piece of paper, something which you already written, okay, and you want to learn something new, either you turn the page or whatever that in the page that is already written something else, you need to erase it, right? You cannot. So misconceptions are there on the mind because we become dogmatized. We have been in this world, birth after birth, and different upbringings and all these things have created certain kind of thinking in our mind. So we do not become receptive when something comes different from that, okay? And our mind cannot accept it. Okay? So in order to learn something different, first thing what a good teacher will do is to tell him to abolish whatever you learned so far, just for the time being, keep it away, turn the page, new page, and then you'll understand. So that's what it is here. Previous meditation, by studying the material world for innumerable births, one's originally pure of heart and thoughts have now become contaminated. So originally that love, bhakti is there in the dormant stage, but now it's contaminated because of the selfish material interest in our heart that is preventing us. So that we need to take it away. So what you need to present meditation, adhunika, through sadhu sangha, the devotee association, and hopefully more advanced devotee association, and performing spiritually pious activities. The 64 angas of devotional service, sadhana bhakti, that is the purification process. That is the one which does erasing old habits in your heart. That's the erasing part. Then one can purify those contamination. That way he can regain his original natural spiritual meditation. When it becomes strong enough, inconceivable truth reappears in his heart. This is the meaning of being rapt meditation. And who is qualified? A person who by constant adhunik meditation who does this process is qualified. When one transcends the status of ecstatic love and thus becomes situated on the highest platform of pure goodness, one is understood. And from the lower modes to come to the mode of goodness, how? Shrunatam sakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Vidyantasva Bhadrani Vidunoti Surut Satam. Okay. Nashta Prayasva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtati. Tada, at that time, Rajas Tamo Kama Bhava Adayasche Chet Etir Anavritam. And Sthitam Satve Prasidhati. Simply hearing about Krishna, all the dirt Krishna himself removes from the mirror of your heart. And he removes mainly the lower modes of material nature whose outer manifestation is Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Moha, Matsara. That's the one preventing us. That need to be erased from the slate of your heart. And then when this pure mode of goodness is established in the heart, then you begin to understand Krishna and you understand the pure book, this Sai Bhava and all these things that we've been learning right now. That heart needs to be purified by devotional, simply hearing about Krishna in association with sadhus, advanced devotees. Then that is the erasing part of all the dirt is removed. And then what happens? Then actually the real pure bhakti begins. Evam prasanna manaso Bhagavad Bhakti Prayojita, pure bhakti starts. Then Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam, Mukta Sangasya Jayat. On this liberated platform, you learn the science of Krishna. When you learn the science of Krishna, Vidya Hridaya Granthis, Chindite Sarvasamashya, Kshiyante Chasya Karmani, Drasht Evatmana Ishvare. All the misgiving doubts disappear. The tight knot between matter and spirit is dissolved. And all the karmic bondage is gone. And then you realize, Drasht Evatmana Ishvare, you realize you are pure spirit soul. You have nothing to do with this material body, and by extension, its relationships and so on like that. You are the servant of Krishna. So that is the way. So who is not qualified? Who is in a Falgu Vairagya, false renunciation, mental speculation, karma kanda kind of rituals that is interested in that, all kind of thing, then that is not qualified. A pure devotee should not describe devotional service in its different analytical aspects to that kind of speculators. A devotee should not make a living from teaching Srimad Bhagavatam. So Vijay Kumar is asking that, because he had been making a living of that, and Shiksha Guru said, no, you should never ever do that. Why? Because these particular bhavas that we have been talking about, that simply cannot be understood. Somebody's on a material platform, and you are discussing this Bhagavatam. It's all about these ecstatic bhavas, about hearing about Krishna, and that when you teach and charging money for that bhava simply cannot be understood. Only the expert and thoughtful who knows how to relish the transcendental rasa are qualified to taste the nectar of the Srimad Bhagavatam. No one is qualified. So rasas are Lord Krishna himself. So one must give up such a profession with an honest heart, surrender to the rasas and take shelter of them. They will certainly forgive the offender. So today I didn't take a break at all. Sorry about that. My apology. I didn't include that today. I forgot to. So anyway, the topic was so enticing. I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed hearing it today without any break. Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. But normally I make special effort to give you a 5-minute break. So please pardon me for that today. Hari Bol. Open for discussion.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Wonderful session, Prabhu. Thank you very much. I have only one question, Prabhu. Okay, it's like we are talking about these rasas. Okay, the 5 rasas. At some point of time, I think before you said like we should always think of like we are at a Dasya Rasa. Yes, Prabhu. I read at multiple at one or two places. Okay, in Bhagavatam, Prabhu, that if you really hear the Bhagavatam, okay, from Bhagavat Purusha, and you will get to know that at what rasa you are in, okay, or at Golak Vrindavan, at what rasa you served Krishna, okay. So at what stage we will get to know, or if you just hear Bhagavatam, we will get to know at what rasa we are in, Prabhu. Or is there any other apart from chanting?
No, most of us right now, we are kind of Dasya Rasa now, right? We want to serve Krishna. As you develop more and more, get involved, I can tell you from my own experience, okay? I've been practicing Krishna consciousness for about nearly 40 years now, 35, 40 years. So Dasya Rasa is there, serving Krishna, and there's an hour reverence. The more and more you get deeper and deeper, then you are going to bound to develop some raga bhakti, raga. So when you talk about raga, attachment, it is going to be on a personal level with Krishna. Okay, so some devotees develop love for baby Krishna. In fact, one Pushti Marga Sampradaya, they worship baby Krishna, okay, like that. And some wants to be friend with Krishna and so like that. Over the years, I want to see Radha and Krishna together. So I feel I'm more like serving Radha and Krishna together. I cannot imagine Krishna without Radha, and without Radha there is no Krishna. So this will happen over the time period. Sometimes get long time, sometimes quicker, and so on like that. As a on a material platform, okay, when you meet someone, you don't know exactly what kind of relationship you are going to have that. But when you get to know that person more and more, either you are going to develop a friend, or you're going to worship him, you're going to respect him as an elderly, as a person from whom you would like to take instructions, advice, and someone who become a bosom friend like that. So it depends how intimately you know that person, and that takes time. But insofar as we are talking about Krishna, most of us, we still remain as the servant of Krishna. We want to serve Krishna because we feel, obviously we cannot feel equal to Krishna like Arjuna feels. I doubt anybody would feel that. You want to become a friend with Krishna, but still in a friendly way also, you want to serve him, please him. Okay. And those who love baby Krishna, they want to dress him up. Like my wife takes care of our deities, right? And my wife is so particular, she will never serve Krishna chili. And I would do that because I love chilies. So I think that Krishna also likes to eat hard food or something like that, So it depends on what bhava you have. And my wife is very, very careful. The food has to be cooled down. It cannot be too hot when serving. And she's worried that Krishna might get burned or something like that, So she has that particular bhava. So her bhava is clearly Vatsalya bhava. That my bhava is more different, more with the adult Krishna, So it develops over time, I would say. And even over time also, that particular bhava you may have in the beginning, that may become stabilized further. Dasya bhava becomes stabilized. So that is exactly stabilization means. That's sthai bhava. And from sthai bhava, it's going to develop a particular kind of rasa, dasya rasa, and so on. So that's what I would answer like that.
Yeah, understood, Prabhu.
It's a highly personalized, individualistic situation is there. It will vary from person to person.
Yeah, because it varies. Yeah, understood, Prabhu. Understood.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah. So we are going to hear more and more on each rasa, Prabhu. Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
Thank you.
We are just getting into it. We are getting general aspect of it.
General aspect.
But remember, now all the way down, all the way toward the end, next 10, 12 lessons, we are going to go deeper and deeper. But if you had attended Ujjwal, you were there in Ujjwal Nilamani, right?
Yes, Prabhu, I am there.
So Ujjwal Nilamani, we are going to revisit a lot of things, but still you are going to find something new in this Jaiva Dharma. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank you, Charu. Prabhu wanted to
So
ask
it's a highly technical, deep philosophy is there now, okay? So please have little patience and you will get to know more. Yes, Satyadevata Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu, for the opportunity. Basically, like a very basic question I have, Prabhu. I think it's just lingering in my mind. Probably there is some lack of clarity there. Because fundamentally in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, we talk about dasa, 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 and dasa. That dasya bhava is kind of put into the mind. But at the same time, Mahaprabhu was preaching and was always talking about the highest rasa, which is the Madhurya rasa. So I sometimes find it a little difficult to correlate where the ultimate goal is a Madhurya rasa, but we feel ourselves that it's dasa, 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 and dasa, which is more engrossed into the dasya rasa. So I have some challenge in understanding this correlation, Prabhu.
Question. Very good question. Again, like Prasad Prabhu, it's a highly individualistic there. See, in ISKCON, it's a relatively a branch of Gaudiya Sampradaya. It's a small branch, It's a more recent history. And Prabhupada was trying to introduce Krishna consciousness. Those who completely never heard about Krishna, okay? So he began with that. Dasanudas feeling is there, but you have to also understand this Dasanudas kind of sentiments in a much deeper level. It does not limit us to only a servitude relationship. Even a Sakya Bhav, even the topmost Madhurya Bhav, there is a Dasanudas sentiment is there. This gopis, that high level, they consider that we are not fit. We cannot come to the standard of Radharani. What to speak of Radharani? Sakhis and Manjaris. So we take Manjari as our guru, and we want to serve Krishna as an assistant to assistant to assistant. So there you see Dasanudas. But in serving in Madhurya Rasa. So try to facilitate the meeting of Radha and Krishna, all the things that they need to be serving, what they will need when they meet together. And we are not expert in knowing that, so we take lessons from those who are doing that. Manjaris, they do that, So again, in the disciplined succession, we have this Dasanudas kind of relationship, even in Madhurya Bhav.
Okay.
So you have to understand from a larger perspective, deeper perspective, this Dasanudas sentiments, not necessarily the Dasa means servant only.
Okay.
Because you don't be directly a friend to Krishna. You want to be just like, see, many times I consider, I'm not too close to my Guru Maharaj, And some of my godbrothers are very, very close to Guru Maharaj. So I always consider, I gave up seeking personal relationship, developing personal relationship, my Guru Maharaj. So what I've done over the years, I learned hard way. Now I take help from my God brothers. So that's the Dasanudas sentiment is there. I cannot develop, I'm not qualified to develop a personal relationship with my Guru Maharaj. So at least, at the very least, I serve Guru Maharaj's closer disciple, and he's closer, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines, 10 lines down the line. That's what I do there. So you see, Dasanudas Bhav is here, is also there. Even a guru-disciple relationship. Because I don't consider myself very qualified to come closer to my Guru Maharaj. Initially, first 5, 6 years, I did try, and I was not successful. So over the years, I learned how to settle down on that. Now I don't feel that too bad about it. I've never been close to my Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
So Prabhuji, I hope I answered your question. So you have
Yes,
to consider this Dasanudas sentiments in a little bit deeper aspect of it. All kind of devotees are actually Dasanudas. Hare Krishna. Any other question? We have a lot of time. Nitya Sakhi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare
That's
Krishna Prabhuji.
I was
A
thinking
wonderful
about
class,
you.
Prabhuji.
I thought, why are you so silent, quiet?
No, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, in addition to this, your comments, following the instruction of Guru Maharaj is more important, rather to have a close relation. It is
No, but-
right, Prabhuji.
But no, you see, look at the Prabhupada's purport throughout. You develop a personal relationship. Prabhupada always said that develop a personal relationship with your spiritual master. Okay, but then this Vani and Vapu comes, right? It's like a, when you don't get a grapes, then you say grapes are sour, right? So sour grape theory kind comes into play. Everybody desires, I'm telling you, everybody desires a personal relationship with your Guru Maharaj. Everybody. The Guru Maharaj, who has 10,000 plus disciples, and we are such a tiny fellow. So then Dasanudas kind of, you settle down on that, not by choice, but the reality sinks in the heart, and you settle down on that. At the tail end of my life, that's what I settled down. But surely, Prabhupada, you look at the purports, throughout, Prabhupada talks about personal relationship with your Guru. Throughout. And everybody desires, they want to admit it or not, they desire everybody. But it's a sour grape theory, sour grape feeling, that then you settle down and say, okay, Vani is and Bapu, Vani means his instructions are more important than his relationship with him direct. But that is, I don't subscribe to that at all. Deep down, everybody wants to be closer to their Guru. Everyone. But we just don't feel qualified enough. When your Guru has 10,000 plus disciples, you're nowhere near. Nowhere near. At least I can speak for myself. I'm nowhere near. Okay, any other points? Thank
Thank you, Prabhuji.
I'm
Thank you.
very frank and very straightforward. I don't want to beat around the bush. Deep down, if you ask everyone, they will admit they want to be closer to their Guru Maharaj. They want to understand the mood of your Guru. Then what I did actually, I wrote my first book that just got published a few months ago. Actually, that book, not because I want to sell the book, but if you read it, that book was primarily written for those who are aspiring to seek initiation. My Guru Maharaj had been waiting for 4 years And I already suffered a heart attack when I was around 50. And I couldn't convince my Guru Maharaj. He just kept on saying, you're not ready. So then I studied the mood of my Guru Maharaj. And my Guru Maharaj Pranam mantra is that Prabhupada Sahityam Vityascha. He spent his lifetime in translating Prabhupada's books into so many regional languages and distribute all over the world. Okay, so that's what I did. I tried to, then I wrote this a commentary on a particular aspect of Bhagavad Gita, especially this Paramagyana, the absolute knowledge. And I wrote that manuscript some 25 years ago. And my Guru Maharaj, when he saw it, he liked it so much. Within the very same month, he gave me the initiation that he had been prolonging me for 3 years before that. And even when I said I suffered a heart attack, that still did not, I could not win his heart. But when I wrote that, he realized the intensity of my love, seeking initiation. Because I was at the Krishna might have extended, I'm sure, I believe Krishna extended my life 3 times, not once. But that first time happened when I turned 50 and I suffered terrible situation. Emergency, immediately I was rushed into the bypass surgery, triple bypass surgery. And one of the artery, what these cardiologists refer to as widowmaker. So I was not sure I would survive. And I wanted to get initiated before I die. And Krishna fulfilled my desire. He transmitted my desire to the heart of my Guru. And that I struggled, I wrote that manuscript. At that time, when I had a very meager knowledge of Bhagavad Gita even. I'm talking about 1995, 1996 or like that. In that period, I wrote that. It got published just recently. So if you get a time, read that book and you will learn the status of my heart at that point. So don't believe that Vanu Appu Teri, don't believe it. Everybody wants to seek a close relationship with their Guru. Prabhupada said millions of times throughout his purports. Yes, when Guru is not there, or is there, his instructions are absolutely of paramount importance. Even when you develop a personal relationship, you really want to understand his instructions. And his instruction was there to me, personal instruction at the time of initiation. Charuchandra, I want you to learn Shastra. I want you to learn Prabhupada's books and then teach others. And that become the mission of my life. Even now, since initiation, I received my initiation in 1997, 25th May, Nishinga Chaturthi Day. And even today, you're seeing me. I've been conducting these classes since then. So I took my Guru Maharaj order as the mission of my life, even though I don't have any kind of personal relationship, not even a trace of it. Just he came last month here. He did not even remember me. He asked somebody, who is this guy? Who is this person? When I handed him my first book to him. So that is the unfortunate situation I have. But deep down, remember, Guru, you should never consider as an ordinary person. He is the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. And through Krishna, he knows all his disciples. Even though he may have 10,000 disciples, but there is a spiritual relationship is there. Then we seek on a material platform, we cannot have that. Hare Krishna.
तो प्रभु जी इट इज गुरु तत्व जो है तो हमें वो कनेक्ट करते रहते हैं। अगर आप उनसे मिलते नहीं, पर्सनल रिलेशन नहीं, मगर वो आपके काम को तो उनको मालूम ही होगा कि आप वो जो कर रहे हो, बिकॉज ऑफ दिस गुरु तत्व जो है आप उनसे हमेशा जुड़े रहते हैं ना प्रभु जी।
Yeah,
सही
because
बात
when
है।
you, that's what the Shastra says. When you become initiated, you are connected with the disciplic succession, all the way reaching to Guru Krishna, all the time, all the way to the Lord Shri Krishna through the disciplic succession. You are linked to it. So the mercy flows through the disciplic succession. Hare
यस
Krishna.
प्रभु जी, थैंक यू सो
Pardon,
मच प्रभु जी।
pardon me if I said too much.
Hare Krishna Prabhu
नो
ji.
प्रभु जी, हमें बहुत सीखने मिला प्रभु जी।
मैं कौन होता हूँ, मेरी हैसियत क्या है? कुछ नहीं है।
तो प्रभु जी इससे हमें हमारे भी कुछ नहीं है प्रभु जी। हमें बहुत टाइम है सब,
Okay.
आप हमसे बहुत बड़े हैं।
Thank you, Raksha Mataji. Thank you. Any other points, questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu ji.
Yeah, Radha Vinod Prabhu.
Yeah,
You want to
so
say something?
I like your, you always, you are very candid about Guru Maharaj. He's also my Guru Maharaj. And, it's very difficult. He sees, sometimes we don't understand him. He's not an ordinary person and sometimes we misunderstand, but he will intervene when it's needed. And I have also the similar experience, Prabhuji. His eyes are there. He keeps us in that, but sometimes we don't understand. We are in hurry, and I see your efforts. How to serve him, and it's ideal example. He wants to distribute books. He wants the preaching, and you did the right thing, so you could come to him. I think that is the one you explained. So going back, Prabhuji, a couple of things. I just talking difficult subject matter. You try to put it so nicely for me. I had to read second time or third time to understand with your today's
It's
class.
very difficult.
Yeah,
Even
so
difficult for
that
me too.
yes. So I need to go. And the thing you mentioned, like ISKCON, again, the Prabhuji asked a very wonderful question. Like we belong to the Madhurya, kind of thinking is there. If you worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you go to Golak Vrindavan. That is the mood. But on that, but we have been asked to serve a dasha, and you gave very wonderful example, and that I really have feel. Even gopis, they have that dasha. And different moods you serve in Madhuri includes dasha. It is not exclusive. And you gave wonderful example of sakhis and manjaris. How we to look at it. This is a practical example how to see that different rasa. But also, Prabhuji, a different angle. And many times it came from you in a discussion. Initially, even if you go to the look at the deities, we serve the deities on reverence, right? This is what we have been asked because Pancharatri is only for that one. You serve. So as we progress on the bhava and come to the swarupa somewhere, we don't know what is our swarupa, but we have been asked to serve, start only at the dasha level and nothing else. You may be different level as you come to the bhava, and that time you may be revealed out. You know your real identity, right? But in the beginning, irrespective of whatever you see that we have to start with dasha. Another example you mentioned so nicely is that even if Madhuri is the highest, but if your bhava to serve Krishna is the dasha, you will not settle for anything else. That was very nicely it came. So that is what is there. Srimad Bhagavatam also we read that first three slokas, right? That's the third rasa. We see that it doesn't make a difference because for the devotee, that is the essence of everything for him, right, Prabhuji? So it was very nice, discussion, Prabhuji, on the class as well as after that. So nice, a lot of things to take out from this. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. And remember, Krishna also wants to have a particular kind of relationship with his devotees. I told you that in Golok Vrindavan Dham, everybody is liberated souls, right? But there are insects, birds, cows, animals, because Krishna wanted to have that kind of relationship with them. So the devotee willingly takes that particular form that pleases Krishna. So just it's not just because what is our desire, what Krishna desires. So both works hand in hand to develop a particular kind of relationship with Krishna. And then you don't want to settle any other relationship, even though you think it is inferior. It's none of these 5 relationships are inferior, really. The degree of intimacy varies, definitely. But everybody cannot become a lover of Krishna. Krishna has friends too. He has many gopis, but he has a lot of gopas. He has very, very close relationship. He has servants. He has very close relationship. So that's what one has to understand that. Okay. So both the devotee's desire, what Krishna desires, Krishna's desire, that is my desire. That is what we need to cultivate, not my selfish desire.
Prabhuji, I have a very quick small question. That Dhruta Rasa, the example is given like this one, that primary he was a Dasha, but he had secondary Rasa, the chivalry. That Dhruta Rasa, right? Yeah. No, Bhishma. Sorry. Bhishma. I made mistake. Bhishma. I had that Bhishma in there. So Dasha was the primary and the chivalry was the secondary. Now, one of those secondary rasas, where that chivalry will fall in that, because that word is used very prominently in Bhagavatam.
Actually, Bhishma Pitama had a Veera Rasa kind of relationship, right? An adversarial relationship, but in a very loving way. Bhishma Pitama had that kind of relationship with Krishna. And that is just incredible. Bhishma Pitama is no ordinary devotee, great devotee of Lord Shri Krishna, but in an adversarial role that he had to take up because he had to support Duryodhana. Because he was under the impression that Duryodhana supported my life, so he felt that he cannot be unfaithful to Duryodhana, and he felt very bad about that. He knew that Duryodhana was completely on the wrong side of Dharma, but he had to remain reluctantly with Duryodhana. And Krishna ultimately, toward the end, he told Bhishma Pitaka, that was your wrong thinking. When you are on the wrong side of Dharma, even though you yourself are not, but you are supporting somebody who is in the wrong side of Dharma, then you are participating in this adharmic activity.
So, but where it will fall, Prabhuji? Today we have the secondary rasas, right? 7. The chivalry, where it comes into one of these.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
No, my question is that, the 7 secondary rasas
Oh,
are there.
yeah.
Those chivalry, where it will fall into that? Will it fall into the Vibhitsana, or will it fall into that, or which part it will go?
It's going to come there. It's going to come in second results. We are going to come discuss it in more detail about it. But the focus is on these 5 primary rasas.
Okay.
Yeah, it will be there. But in the next series of lessons, we'll be talking about each of these rasas, how it generates from sthai bhava, what are specific alambana is there, what are specific uddipana that specific to that particular rasa, each of these 5 rasas that we'll talk about. Hare Krishna. Okay, I think we are approaching towards the end. Are there any other questions? So people who are not yet asked?
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam, Prabhuji.
This is K Mataji.
Prabhuji, so in these days, I think it's difficult so as to have direct seva with our Guru Maharaj, because there are so many disciples with our Guru Maharaj. And it is also in persona also, it is difficult to get instructions. But it has been told that the Guru Maharaj instructs you through his lectures and Vani. So if we are close to it and if we follow accordingly, so we should feel that these are the instructions for us. So how it is, just Raksha Mataji also said that
It's exactly what
one
I
needs
did.
to follow.
My Guru Maharaj instruction personally for me, Charachandra, I want you to learn Shastra and teach others. That's what I took as the mission of my life. That's what his instructions. And that's what exactly what I'm following for the last 26 plus years. And I settled down on that. But I had to be frank to you. It was very painful to hear when Guru Maharaj had to ask his secretary, who is this guy? Who is this person? After 25 years elapsed. And I handed him that book and still he had to ask somebody, who is this person? So that really pained my heart. I am a human being with feelings. Hare Krishna. I think let's end the session now. The time is up. So Saga Prabhu, if you're ready, let's end the class.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obsession. All go to Srila Prabhupada. Namaste Narasimhai. Namaste Narasimhai. Prahlad Ladaine. Prahlad Ladaine. Hiranyakasipur Bhaksahar. Hiranyakasipur Bhaksahar. Shilatankar Nadhale. Shilatankar Nadhale. Ito Narsimha, Bharata Narsimha, Ita Narsimha, Bharata Narsimha, Ite Yami, Ito Narsimha, Ite Yami, Ito Narsimha, by Narsimha, Hriday Narsimha, by Narsimha, Hriday Narsimha, Narasingha Madin Saranam Prapade, Narasingha Madin Saranam Prapade. कल कमल भरे नखाद्भुत सिंगम दलिता हिरण्यकशिपुर तनुभृंगम केशवधीत नरहरि रूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव कल कमल भरे नखाद्भुत सिंगम दलित हिरण्यकशिपुर तनुभृंगम केशवधीत नरहरि रूप जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे। नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। चारू प्रभु की जय। शरद प्रभु की जय। गुरुदेव की जय। ऑल assembled devotee की जय। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। चारू प्रभु दंडवत प्रणाम।
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol, everyone. All good Srila Prabhupada. All good Srimad Bhagavatam. All the Vaishnavas. All the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. So I look forward to see you next week. Until then, I wish you all the wonderful, blissful week ahead in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Chandravai.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you. Thank you for a wonderful class. Thank you. Dandavat Pranam, Chandravai.
Hare Bol.
Hare Bol.
Very good.